Alright guys, so here we go. When you're going over wet paint, you just go over it, guys. Don't worry about the wet paint. As long as you're not leaning, and as long as you don't hit your brakes hard, you'll be okay. Now this is a tricky spot to get out of, but I'm going for it. Here we go. I ride the same way in the dry as I do in the rain, and vice versa. Alright, I'm not on the throttle usually, ever. The very first thing about riding in the rain is, when you purchase a visor, it's going to say anti-fog. I have never purchased a visor that hasn't fogged up, guys, in the rain. So that's a fallacy right there. Your visor is gonna fog up. If I close this visor right now, it will fog up. So I ride with it slightly cracked. Alright, even if it rains hard, I have to ride with it slightly cracked. Alright guys, so I also have a dark smoke visor on right now, which makes it a little more difficult to ride in the rain than with a clear visor. But I know the streets, and I know where the potholes are, so I'm not too worried about that. I can see perfectly fine. I would just be able to see better with a clear visor. You don't have a windshield wiper on your visor, so occasionally you will have to wipe it. Just like I have to wipe the camera. Alright guys, now I anticipate this person may come out, but they didn't. So what I do is I ease up on the throttle, guys. I never hit my brake unless I absolutely have to. And then, if you have to hit your brake hard, it's because somebody did something stupid. If you anticipate what's going to happen ahead of you, you should never have to hit your brake hard. Guess they're going left. Alright buddy, make the turn. Unbelievable, guys. 967 VHS Trans. I don't know. What is that? Like a street or a driveway? Alright, it's a driveway. This bumper here, guys, look at his bumper. Somebody whacked him real good. Alright guys, so before you even ride in the rain, you want to know your bike in the dry. So you want to know how your bike handles on a dry road, guys. Alright, so we've got school, so we got to drop it down to first gear, guys. 20 miles an hour, whether there's a dry road or a wet road. Before you even ride in the rain, you want to know your bike on a dry road. You want to know how the brakes handle, the front and rear brakes separately, the front and rear brakes simultaneously. Alright, you want to know how your engine braking works in each gear on a dry road before you ride in the rain. You never ever want to hit your brakes hard in the rain. Now, I'm pulling in the clutch and I'm going to gently hit my brakes as I would on a dry road, guys. You never want to hit your brakes hard, your front or your rear brakes. You always want to anticipate what's going to happen in front of you. And stay if you can. I'm coming up to a light, but stay if you can about 3 car lengths away from the car in front of you. And that should prevent you from getting rear-ended. So basically, guys, I'm riding the same in the dry as I am in the wet. You can't be afraid of riding in the rain. If you're afraid to ride in the rain, if you have fear of riding in the rain, then I suggest that you don't ride in the rain. Alright guys, nothing is going to happen as long as you do the right thing with your throttle and your brakes. Alright, you're in control of the throttle and the brake. You're in control of the motorcycle at all times. And you have to be confident. You have to be confident when you're on the motorcycle. At all times, you have to be confident that you can handle any situation that arises. Alright guys? And believe me, I've been in some situations in the rain and in the dry, guys. I've had some scary situations, you know, and you're going to, because people do the wrong things out here, you know, so they make poor decisions, and that causes you to react to their poor decision. Alright guys, so the key to riding in the rain is number 1, be confident. Number 2, stay about 3 car lengths away from the person in front of you. Number 3, anticipate what's going to happen before it happens so you can react to it. If you think someone might come out on you, all you do is let up on the throttle. You don't hit your brake. You ease up on the throttle. Look at that. Smoking, guys. That's all the wet on the radiator. You want to check your intersection too, guys. When you're coming through an intersection, don't just go through the intersection because the light is green. You want to make sure it's safe to go through the intersection. There's usually somebody running a red light, you know? So you want to make sure that you're riding safely. Now see, I'm keeping a good distance between the car in front of me. I will never have to hit my brake hard unless somebody from the left or the right does something stupid. And even then, guys, I will not hit my brake. I will ease up on my throttle and let the engine braking brake for me. And that's what you should be doing. Let the engine braking brake for you in the rain. And that's what it's for, guys. The engine braking is built into the bike for that reason. When you come into a congested area and you think that somebody may come out on you, well, you're going to take a gear. So watch this. I'm going to take a gear, guys. I'm going to drop down to second gear, and then the engine braking kind of brakes my speed a little bit. You want to always be in control of the bike. Don't let the bike control you. And if you're driving recklessly in the dry road, guys, you're probably going to drive recklessly in the rain. And then you're going to have some issues. But as long as you drive responsibly, you should be okay. Now you've seen how worn these tires are, guys. I have no problem riding in the rain with these tires. So I'm going to the registry right now. I have to pay 20 bucks for my registration. Yeah, to keep the bike registered on the road for the winter. 20 bucks, guys. That's pretty reasonable. The worst thing about riding in the rain is you get wet. And I don't have any rain gear right now, so every time I ride in the rain, I get wet. My visor's fogging up a little bit. Now I've just cleaned it off so I can see again. That's probably the worst thing. You don't have a windshield wiper, and if it's coming down straight at you, you know, you just have these beads of water on your visor. I'm not going to hit my brake, guys. I'm going to downshift. I'm going to take a gear. I'm going into first gear, okay? Only time I want to touch my brakes is when I'm coming to a stop like this. It's the only time you ever want to use your brakes, guys, in a dry or a wet road. I never use my brakes. In 5 years, guys, I have not had to change my brake pads. I never use them. I use my gears. I use the engine braking. And I keep my distance from the traffic in front of me. So I have to gently touch the brake now just to stop. Alright guys, that's all there is to it. So if you are afraid of riding in the rain, then just don't ride in the rain. You know, unless you absolutely have to. Like me, I've got to ride in the rain. You know, I don't have a choice. And you get used to it, guys. You just get used to riding in the rain. You get used to you get used to getting wet. I don't know if this person's gonna pull out on me, guys, so I just ease up on the gas. That's all I do. I don't hit my brake. Right? You're not stopping. The only time you want to hit your brake is when you're stopping, guys. Other than that, stay off the brake. That's my best advice to you for riding in the rain or on a dry road. If you're thinking about getting your motorcycle license, remember those things. Stay off the brake. Use your engine braking in each gear. Alright guys, you want to be familiar with all of that in the dry before you go out in the wet. And that's the key, really, guys. Just stay off the brake. Unless you've got too much of a lean, and you hit your brake too hard, you know, there's always the potential to high side. And that's why you always want to stay off the brake. Alright, guys? Now, it's raining. It's not too bad. I'm wet. So, what happens is, too, when you do get wet in the rain, if you get wet inside your jacket, all of a sudden a chill will come over you. Now here's a guy riding a scooter. I think he's on a Ruckus. But you will get a chill, guys. If you get wet, you'll get a chill and then you'll start to shiver. And that's the worst feeling, really, guys, when you start shivering. But with rain gear, you shouldn't really have that problem. So I'm going to get some rain gear. I'm just so used to riding in the rain, you know. I just let everything dry out. If it comes to the point I have to wash everything, then that's what I do. Alright, so going into the registry here. Find a spot here. I think I'm gonna go over here, guys. Park down the end and back it in. When you're backing the bike in, you can feel the sand mixed with the wet. And especially if it's a spot you've never backed into. Like right there, there's a high point where my feet weren't almost touching. Right there, where that crack is. Alright guys, we're here. Alright guys, so this is what the bike looks like after you've been riding in the rain. There's a number on the bike, guys. All inside there. Gets all sandy, dirty. When the sun comes out, I'll shine it up and it'll look as good as new, guys. That's gonna do it. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.